Strap yourselves in. You're about to watch karma strike in real time. A Minnesota woman thought she could expose a federal agent's home address online and walk away with nothing more than a bunch of likes and shares. Instead, she walked straight into a federal crime that could land her in prison for years, and it was all caught on camera. What you're about to see is a story of how one viral video from a lunatic leftist destroyed yet another activist's life in less than 48 hours, and we're going to find out why she's the first of many more to come. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you make sense of the madness with breaking news and analysis you're not going to hear anywhere else, so make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Her name is Sarah, and she lives in Chaska, Minnesota, the same quiet suburb where ICE agent Jonathan Ross has his home. Now, Ross, of course, is the federal officer who shot and killed 37-year-old Renee Good on January 7th during an immigration enforcement operation in Minneapolis after Good accelerated her car heading towards Ross and trying to escape from federal law enforcement. Now, while Department of Homeland Security officials have since concluded that Ross was thoroughly justified in the shooting, calling Renee Good's actions domestic terrorism, Sarah, having inhaled deeply of the left-wing lunacy that pervades so much of Minneapolis, disagreed. She grabbed her phone, jumped in her car, and decided to take justice in her own hands.
Hi, everyone. This is a PSA. Jonathan Ross lives in my town, Chaska, Minnesota. There are 2 police squad cars sitting in front of his home. Earlier this morning, I passed just to see what kind of action was there. Saw the police officers there this morning. I did a U-turn by them, turned out, and then went to go do an errand. I came back because I wanted to ask if they were protecting him or if they're protecting the general public. And the police officers basically said, we're here to protect the community. He looked at me like I was some idiot, and, it is what it is, but I don't really believe him. I think they're protecting him. I think he's hiding out in his house. And I'd love for everyone who doesn't like him circle around in his neighborhood. I won't say exactly what road, if it's Court or if it's Drive, you can figure that out. But I will just say that the numbers look a lot like a 1 and a 1, 2, 0. I don't know. Go circle around, make him uncomfortable, everybody.
What Sarah didn't seem to understand, being the borderline illiterate that she is that she had just violated U.S. Code 18, Section 119. This federal statute makes it a crime to knowingly publish restricted personal information about a covered federal officer with the intent to threaten, intimidate, or incite violence. The penalty? Up to 5 years in federal prison. Minnesota law goes even further. The state classifies doxing a law enforcement officer when it presents a serious risk to the officer or their family as a crime punishable by up to 1 year in jail and a $3,000 fine. Now, as you just saw there, Sarah's video didn't just identify Ross. It actively encouraged harassment and invited strangers to his home. However, as it turns out, the severity of her problems were just beginning. Within hours, the internet turned on her. Her comment section exploded with outrage against her. People weren't just calling her out. They were doing to her exactly what she tried to do to Ross. They found her employer, a massage therapy clinic where she'd recently started working. They identified her social media accounts. They flooded her pages. She scrambled to delete the video, but it was too late. Screenshots and screen recordings had already gone viral. The irony is almost poetic. Sarah wanted to dox a federal agent and ended up doxing herself instead. But here's what makes this story a perfect case study in consequences. Sarah likely thought she was engaging in free speech or activism. She wasn't. Doxing is not protected expression. It's a predatory act that weaponizes personal data to coerce fear and obstruct justice. Courts have repeatedly ruled that intentionally publishing someone's address to incite harassment, like what we all just saw there, crosses the line from speech into criminal conduct. Federal agents like Jonathan Ross already face an astonishing 8,000% increase in death threats since the Trump administration ramped up immigration enforcement. DHS spokesperson Tricia McLaughlin confirmed that officers and their families are under unprecedented danger. That's why Congress is currently considering the Protecting Law Enforcement from Doxing Act, which would further criminalize the intentional release of a federal officer's name or address to obstruct enforcement operations. But Sarah's video didn't just cross a legal line. There's another line that was crossed that's even more ominous and consequential. And the backlash against that will have every liberal in the nation panicked. But first, did you know that U.S. life expectancy peaked at 78 years back in 2014? And global life expectancy is declining for the first time in 30 years because people are aging faster than ever before. And that's largely due to more toxins in the air, chemicals in our soil and food, and other external factors that are new to us. What most people don't know is that we can actually fight aging on a cellular level. Scientists have discovered that kimchi actually slows the aging process of human cells, helping to protect them and delay aging. The power of nature can outweigh the power of pharmaceuticals without the nasty side effects. And now you can get all the benefits of kimchi in a simple capsule with Kimchi One. I take Kimchi One every single day. I absolutely love it. Each capsule delivers over 900 probiotic strains plus antioxidants and enzymes that support your digestion, metabolism, and skin health from the inside out. As we age, we become more susceptible to microbial threats, harmful viruses and bacteria. But the beauty is that Kimchi One is a natural antimicrobial, helping your body fight off harmful bacteria, viruses, and even toxins while boosting immunity and energy. Best of all, Kimchi One is 100% made in America. It's all natural and non-GMO. So do what I do. Support your gut, protect your cells, and feel younger every single day with Kimchi One from Brightcore. Today, you can get an exclusive offer by clicking the link below. Just use code TURLEY for 25% off your entire order, or for an even better deal, give them a call. My friends at Brightcore would love to chat with you. They're going to give you up to 50% off if you call them, and they'll even give you free shipping. How's that? Give them a call right now at 888-597-0233. Remember, if you call them, you get 50% off plus free shipping. That's 888-597-0233. There's something far more ominous about what Sarah did there than just breaking the law. What you just witnessed there was a psychosis among the radical left that's been labeled anarcho-tyranny, which Sam Francis described as a combination of oppressive government power used against the innocent and the law-abiding, all the while absolving certain races and identities from any legal responsibility whatsoever. It's a bizarre cognitive dissonance that we can see against the backdrop of J6. So literally just days ago, we were all told by every single Democrat who to this day hold candlelight vigils every year on that date that violently assaulting federal agents was the single greatest assault to American democracy in the history of humanity. But then on the very next day, January 7th, the day Renee Good was shot, we're told that violently assaulting federal agents with one's own vehicle is actually the duty of every morally responsible person. Now, I heard Benny Johnson say the other night that this mass psychosis, this cognitive dissonance, is one day going to have to be the object of psychological study, on how these people can hold so clearly two mutually exclusive beliefs simultaneously. But what Benny doesn't seem to know is that we actually have a study. We talked about it in yesterday's video by the Polish psychologist Andrzej Lobachevsky in his study of what's called political ponerology. Ponerology comes from the Greek word poneros, which means evil. Political ponerology is the study of political evil. And what Lobachevsky did is he studied European leftists for 40 years, particularly European Marxists. And he concluded after 40 years of study that these people, these leftists, were all psychopaths. They were narcissistic psychopaths. And as part of that psychopathy, they took a unique pleasure in manipulating people in ways that deliberately harm them. And so logical consistency took a back seat to manipulative malevolence. And I do think in the end that these people, the new left that we're seeing in Minneapolis, are united in their utter and total contempt for our country. So J6 and the celebration of federal law enforcement in D.C. could be exploited to destroy the rising MAGA movement. Great, let's do it. But if vilifying the same federal law enforcement in Minneapolis is a key to destroying that rising MAGA movement, well then great, let's do that. The common factor isn't dialectic. The common factor is destruction. And the result is anarcho-tyranny, the oppressive punishment of the law-abiding, all the while absolving liberal identity groups from any legal responsibility. The contrast between J6 and J7 is a perfect embodiment of the psychopathy of anarcho-tyranny. And unfortunately, that would-be activist that we saw trying to dox Jonathan Ross, where she found out the hard way what happens when a new administration and new America First movement don't play by those anarcho-tyrannical rules anymore. Karma isn't just something that happens. It's something you create when you deliberately break the law on camera and post it for the world to see. The world is not the one that Sarah inhabits. America First is rising. And unfortunately for Sarah, she's learning that lesson the hard way. Hey gang, before you go, if you want more conversations like this, check out Turley Walks. It's my free preview with the Courageous Patriot Club, where I share stories and perspective on faith, family, and freedom. Head on over to turley.pub/Turley Walks. It's completely free.